In this series, we talk to some of Adelaide's best marketing experts and business owners about what works with marketing. We even get some of their secrets too. Welcome to Inside Marketing. My name's Michaela Gilbert and I'm here with Allana Hinks from Brauer, and we're at the beautiful Adelaide Oval.
Basically my role with Brauer is pretty much looking after all of the marketing department. So I head up all of the advertising and promotions, all of the digital strategy, the content. I work on innovation and product development. Yeah, and the list goes on. We could be here all day.
Tell me a little bit about Brauer and what sort of company it is and what you make.
So Brauer, wholly South Australian owned company. Been around since 1929. We're established as a pharmacy, and then essentially the pharmacist started to create homeopathic medicines, and from there saw that the demand was out of this world, and so basically went into production with his son. So his son took over in 1972, and from there then we went into wide-scale production, and our products now are sold in health food stores, pharmacies, and grocery and online all around Australia.
And I know you've gone through a rebrand.
Yes, so these are our new products that have just come out. So a range of saline products for baby, for child and for adults. So basically just changing the dynamic of everything that we do with every industry that we roll in.
How big is your team at Brauer in the marketing department?
And we've got innovation people within our team, we've got formulators, we've got a team of content writers as well, and then people that work in digital, right through to myself working on the strategy, top level. So we've just got a range of people that work within our team. There's operations and manufacturing as well, all done up in Tanunda. So all of our products are made in Tanunda in the Barossa Valley, so iconic South Australian area.
So with the marketing that you do for Brauer, how much is it traditional compared to digital? Or is it blurred?
It is blurred these days, but in saying that, most of it is all about content these days. So it is all digital, like it's all new age marketing that we do. Obviously there is a traditional element that definitely supports the digital, but I think the realms have changed now where no longer are you about just creating a traditional strategy and then putting some digital in there. It's now about a digital strategy and how a little bit of traditional can actually support that to amplify and bring people in top of funnel.
I guess with the products that you guys make, from a digital and content perspective, it would be very much about education, yeah?
Yeah, well, nobody wants to go into a pharmacy and buy a product just straight off the shelf without speaking to somebody first. So we know that the sources of information is through friends and family. So when you tell me that a product works, I'm going to take your word for it and absolutely buy it. Doesn't matter what a brand is saying about how fabulous this product is. When you tell me, I trust you 100%. So hence the importance of content. And also talking to a pharmacy assistant in store, when you go in there with symptoms that you've got, you want a solution.
Yeah, and as a parent, very much you want to know what you're using on your child is the best option.
Absolutely.
And so going online and searching for what your products do and how they can solve my problems or challenges or potentially solve them is very, very important. So how do you feel 2017, what would be your biggest challenges in marketing?
From our perspective, it is about just giving people the answers to their questions. Consumers want information that they can digest and that is so easy to get access to at any point in time. And so it's really about having relevant content in the right context, but also delivered in the right format at a point in time when consumers are ready for it as well. When they want it, they're open to it. Word of mouth is really important for us. So testimonials, bloggers, getting brand ambassadors on board, people that love our products. We have a huge amount of advocates and evangelists for our brand. So it's really about using them to basically create the content for us because they love the brand and it's so easy in that sense.
So I guess you're sort of getting your fingers and claws into that user-generated content and then flipping it around and celebrating the hero of the consumer.
Exactly right, yeah. And there's nothing more rewarding for a consumer to see their content being amplified by a brand being used.
Yeah.
So, and that makes you feel like you're part of the brand. So it's really about that kind of co-creation.
Yeah. So what advice would you give to a business out there who isn't using user-generated content, and how do they go about getting access to it or permission to use it?
So user-generated content really is about creating a relationship. So social media is a great way to build a relationship with your community. So essentially, they are all your advocates. If you, as a consumer, are willing to go onto a Facebook page and like that brand and watch that brand and follow it, and then take a photo of something that you love and post it to your community, then you're open to that brand. My whole goal is really about connecting with you to then build a relationship.
So that's like sending them a message saying, thank you so much for sharing us that photo. Would you enable us to share that in a newsletter, or could we use that on Instagram? Or you always ask them?
Always ask them,
yeah. Okay.
Or always have that relationship with them. So it might be that we send them some product to try.
So rewarding them as well.
Absolutely. So we'll send them some product to try, and in return for that, then they'll write what they want. And it's got to be authentic. Absolutely. 2017 has to be authentic.
So Allana, not everything that comes in on social media from consumers is positive. So how do you handle potentially negative comments that come through from consumers?
Every brand isn't for everybody, and so therefore it's just about being open to essentially criticism, because you know when you don't like a product, most people aren't that enthusiastic or that motivated to go and write something on a Facebook page if you don't like it. So therefore take it with a pinch of salt, that if they are willing to go and write it, they're generally, there's something behind that. And so in some ways it's potentially contacting that person and asking what their issue is, and it might be something that you might be able to change in a heartbeat. Otherwise, it is that you just need to leave it. I believe that social media these days is self-moderating. You've got a community of X number of people that are essentially they adore your brand. Don't forget that. They are the spokesperson of your brand. And so when somebody comes on and says something negative about your brand, generally speaking, rather than you attacking them and then it looking like, you're defensive and you've got something to hide, it's actually, you can just wait for the rest of your community to support you.
So Allana, I know that you're always about, I guess extending your knowledge in marketing like all good marketers should be. And I know you and I got an opportunity to go to Inbound in Boston last year. But one of the things that blew me away there was about chatbots, the future of answering consumers' questions.
Yep.
And you've got one on your website, so please tell us all about your little bot.
So it was introduced basically as a result of the number of email inquiries that were coming through each day. And there's nothing more frustrating from a consumer perspective is sending an email to a brand and waiting 3 days for a response.
Yeah.
It's all about real time for us, and that's where our chatbot has come in. It's given us that opportunity to be able to engage with consumers all the time.
So how does it work?
Any questions that you've got at any point in time while surfing our site, then you can just jump on there and ask any questions. So we have customer service sit behind our chatbot, so they are basically answering all of the questions. But what it does do for us, it actually gives us access to all of the frequently asked questions and what's the number one inquiry that we're getting and how can we solve that. So for example, having the chatbot now, we've actually seen that the number one inquiry coming through, or the biggest frustration for consumers coming onto our website, was actually, where can I find your product? What store can I buy it from?
Okay.
And so that actually led us to then go and create the back end of a system that essentially connects into where our products are sold all around Australia. So essentially you can now put your postcode in and find a store closest to you with the product that you're looking for.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So obviously marketing to the consumer is really important, and how you get their attention to then go in to find the product. But how do you market to get your product into pharmacies and grocery shelves?
Yeah, that's the challenge. The ultimate challenge working with grocery is obviously really tough. Working with pharmacies is very specialised, so it's very much about understanding what the consumer wants and then selling to the trade, like giving them the reassurance that there's actually a demand for this product. For example, this product here that was just created, we went through, again, a co-creation with our consumer and with trade as well to get feedback on the product, to make sure that what we were creating was actually something that suited the stores, but also suited the consumer. So we gave the trade reassurance that the product would move off of the shelves, and then it's about working, to try and educate them in store at a pharmacy level to make sure that when a consumer comes into store, they have all of the answers to the questions that they're gonna be faced with. So that's our biggest challenge in terms of making sure that we've got the demand and we've created the product that consumers want, and we've got the demand and we're telling people about it.
So Allana, that was amazing. Thank you so much. I admire all your work and love watching Brauer's products just go from strength to strength since you've come on board. So well done. And to everyone, stay inspired. For more inside marketing videos, head to newstylemedia.com.au.